Hollywood has spent decades trying to convince us that dinosaurs were just giant, roaring movie monsters. But honestly, the reality buried in the fossil record is so much worse. Back in the Mesozoic era, nature wasn't just making big lizards, it was running a biological arms race, engineering bizarre, highly specialized killing machines. Today, we are ranking 8 real, terrifying dinosaurs that prove if you had a time machine, you wouldn't survive 5 minutes in the prehistoric jungle. Coming in at number 1 is the Tyrannosaurus Rex. You know the name, but you probably don't respect the hardware. Everyone loves to make jokes about its tiny, useless arms, but it didn't need them. Its head was a biological car crusher. It had a bite force of up to 12,000 pounds, which is like having a medium-sized pickup truck dropped directly on your skull. It didn't just eat meat. Its serrated, banana-sized teeth were designed to literally pulverize solid bone. And if you think staying perfectly still would save you, forget it. The T-Rex had binocular vision superior to a modern hawk and an olfactory lobe so massive it could smell you from miles away. Number 2, the Therizinosaurus. This thing looks like an evolutionary mistake. It was a 30-foot-tall, feathered creature with a giant waddling potbelly, but the terrifying part was its hands. It was rocking 3-foot-long, razor-sharp claws on each arm. It is the closest thing to Freddy Krueger that nature has ever produced. The crazy part? It was an herbivore. That giant belly was a fermentation vat for digesting plants. But if a predator tried to mess with it, it would use those massive biological scythes to swat them away, capable of instantly slicing right through flesh and bone. Number 3 is the Spinosaurus. Imagine a creature heavier and longer than a T-Rex, rocking a massive 6-foot sail on its back and the jaws of a giant crocodile. Now imagine that it can swim. The Spinosaurus spent its life prowling the deep river systems of prehistoric Africa. It had dense, heavy bones like a modern hippo to help it sink and walk along riverbeds. It was a semi-aquatic nightmare that would lurk just below the surface, using special pressure sensors in its snout to detect movement before ambushing massive, car-sized fish, or any dinosaur foolish enough to get a drink at the water's edge. Number 4 is the Utah Raptor. Forget the velociraptors from the movies. Those were actually the size of angry turkeys. If you want the real-life movie monster, this is it. The Utah Raptor was a 20-foot-long, 1,000-pound bird of prey covered in feathers. It hunted in packs and came equipped with a terrifying 9-inch curved sickle claw on each foot. It didn't just bite its prey to death. It leaped onto it, pinned it to the ground with its massive body weight, and used those fear claws to start eating while the prey was still very much alive. Number 5 is the Allosaurus. This was the undisputed apex predator of the Jurassic period, and it had a brutally unique way of hunting. Its bite force was actually surprisingly weak for a dinosaur of its size, but its skull was built to withstand massive shock, and its jaw could open insanely wide, up to 92 degrees. Scientists believe the Allosaurus literally used its upper jaw like a battle axe. It would run at its prey with its mouth wide open and violently slam its top teeth downward like a hatchet, hacking massive chunks of flesh away with every single strike. Number 6 is the Ankylosaurus. You might think a slow-moving plant eater doesn't belong on a list of deadly dinosaurs, but this is pure nightmare fuel for predators. The Ankylosaurus was the biological equivalent of a heavily armored Humvee swinging a wrecking ball. It was covered head to toe in thick, bony armor plates called osteoderms. It even had armored eyelids. Its tail ended in a massive fused bone club that it could swing with devastating momentum. One hit packed enough kinetic energy to completely shatter the legs of an attacking T-Rex, leaving the predator to slowly starve. Number 7 is the Carnotaurus. The name literally translates to meat-eating bull, and it earned the title. This dinosaur had 2 thick, devil-like horns above its eyes and arms that were even smaller and more useless than a T-Rex. They didn't even have elbows. But it didn't matter, because this animal was built for pure speed. With massive, powerful thigh muscles and a stiff tail that acted like a counterbalance, it was the prehistoric equivalent of a 2-ton, scaly cheetah. It couldn't turn very well, but if this demonic sprinter locked eyes with you in a straight line, you couldn't run and you couldn't hide. And finally, number 8, the Majungasaurus. Found on the isolated island of Madagascar, this predator had a short, blunt snout, a horn on the top of its skull, and stubby little legs. But what makes it truly terrifying is its diet. As the top predator in its ecosystem, it ate whatever it wanted, and fossil records show clear, matching bite marks from Majungasaurus teeth on the bones of other Majungasaurus. It is one of the very few dinosaurs with confirmed, undeniable evidence of cannibalism. If times got tough and it was hungry enough, it absolutely did not care if you were family.